94.9 The Urge, Haddonfield's home for rock.
I'm Willie the Kid, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Now, something got into it.
The 200-pound bear fell victim to one of 3 duffel bags full of cocaine dropped in North Georgia and Knoxville, Tennessee 3 months ago.
Medic! Beth, we should go.
Bear probably got an initial rush and perhaps became disoriented and somewhat confused because of the sensation.
It fucking did cocaine.
GBI agents recovered none of the cocaine.
A bear did cocaine.
They say it could have been blown away by the wind or simply dissolved.
Beth, speed up!
One thing's for sure, the bear did not eat 75 pounds of the stuff. Patricia Hunt, 11 Alive News.
A nature drama featuring a cast led by a couple of trained bears. The one time I knew the bears were trained was in this eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation. What I like best about the film is the way it celebrates nature with great sights and sounds of the bears at play. Ever seen any animal in its natural habitat, you know that they are all strangely beautiful, even the ones you might think are ugly. One problem, I found that a lot of the picture quite bloody, and I can't recommend it for little kids under the age of, say, 8. But for everyone else, I think it's a great picture.
When they were shooting on location, the trainer was shouting at the bear at every moment to tell it what to do. And in addition to that, every shot in this movie, sometimes they would spend a day waiting to get the bear just to look in a certain direction or look like this.
2 thumbs up for the bear.
So what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the JEFFMAN316 Pop Culture Reporter channel. I'm your host, as always, JEFFMAN316. Welcome to the Sunday night Let's Talk Movies, Watch Along, and Chat. And this week we're streaming the movie Cocaine Bear on Peacock. And I'll let you know, we were originally going to watch Carousel, and I'm still planning on watching that. But once we get into this, I'll let you guys know why I changed it up. But I did put the poll out there just in case somebody did really want to watch it. I didn't want to like switch it up at the last minute without telling everybody. And I even chatted with the director, and he shared the poll on his social media. So the director creator, but obviously it didn't help, though. Everybody still voted for Cocaine Bear. It's weird that I get a lot of votes. Like one week I got like 50-60 votes, but then not everybody shows up for the live stream, but that's okay. So obviously I saw Cocaine Bear in the theaters, and hopefully that way we can still enjoy it together. I'll know when the good stuff happens. It obviously came out in 2023. It's rated R. It's an hour and 35 minutes. It stars Kerry Russell, Alden Ehrenreich. And isn't that the guy? I think he played Han Solo in that shitty Han Solo movie. O'Shea Jackson Jr., which is Ice Cube's son, and Ray Liotta, in what I believe was his last filmed on-screen role. I know he's got another movie that's coming out, but I think this might have been the last thing he filmed. So before we get into the movie, let's see who's out there. I'm going to throw the banner up. Anybody that watches this now or later, support the channel, throw a like on it, comment, share the video, and then if you want to support me, you can hit me up with a super chat, or afterwards you can do super thanks, and my Cash App is down there at the bottom. And all my videos have my PayPal in it if anybody wants to donate. So we got a few people here. So it looks like Dougie Fresh came in like an hour early. So because he even said in one of his things, "Oh, I'm early." So then Rick showed up. Hello, hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well also. I'm doing pretty good for Sunday night, other than got to go back to work tomorrow. And Doug, he said, hope you're doing well, Doug. What's up? Optimus Prime says, oh no, it's a bear. And Doug wished you well. Make sure I don't miss anything important. I was pissed with Fandango, the movie rewards program. Can't purchase tickets. I should have kept my ticket, but I wanted the free ticket for Evil Dead. Why? Did you have a hot date you're going to take, my man? We should do a watch along or something like that sometime. We something like what sometime? Which one are you talking about? Carousel. I'm so hyped. No, we're not watching Carousel. I'll tell you why, though. You weren't watching anyway. Were you going to watch that? I'll tell you why. I talked to the director a little bit, and we'll get into it once the movie starts, and I'll tell you why. It's Cocaine Bear. Yeah, we're going to watch Carousel. We might even do it next week, but I'll let you know why. So, I picked Cocaine Bear because it came on Peacock, and I'll even say, even though a lot of you guys come by here, Doug has been pretty much a mainstay on the channel since day one. And I will say he said something about his Peacock subscription was going to run out on the 22nd, which isn't that, what's today's date? The 16th. So he won't be able to watch it next Sunday. It'll end for him on Friday. So I figure we squeeze this in, and then Carousel is only an hour and a few minutes, so we can watch that later. This was going to be my first actual. Oh, I'm sorry, man, but I did post during the week, so maybe you don't follow me on my community tab or on my posts or whatever. But we will watch it, and I'll tell you why I switched it here in a minute. But let's go ahead and start the movie. Doug, do you have yours up? I got mine on Peacock already. I'm past the commercials. So, Mr. Old School, what's up? Hope you and everybody's doing well. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well, Mr. Old School. And like I said, Cody, I'll tell you in a second why I switched it up. So, is everybody ready for me to start this big bear? Did you, anybody that did join late, watch the intro? I thought I did a pretty damn good job. I sliced in some footage from the actual Cocaine Bear news footage in there, and then picked the movie The Bear where Siskel and Ebert reviewed it. And I cut in some footage of them too. So Doug says he's ready. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Well, shit, I'm on my app. Hold on a second. False start. Let's go. All right. Just so you guys know, I might have mentioned this in my review. I didn't do a review of Cocaine Bear. We talked about it here. The song that opens this up during the Universal logo, that's Jefferson Star. Is it Jefferson Starship or Jefferson Airplane? Either way. Jefferson Starship. The song's called Jane. Do you got anybody know why they picked that song to open the movie? Yeah, I watched some of that too while I was making that video. It was pretty interesting. Obviously, they took some serious damn liberties with it, but I'll give you a hint about why they picked the song. It's got to do with Elizabeth Banks, who directed this. I remember seeing this in the theater, and I thought it was a pretty damn good way to open this up, but I never understood, though, if this is like in the mid-'80s, throwing the cocaine out and how they have no trackers or anything in there. And look, he hasn't even thrown half the bags out. Well, what good? Did they ever expect to find most of this cocaine? Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity watch along. Or is that on Tubi? What are you pointing to his? That's what they used to do there. I know. I just thought it was stupid because black bears are not motivated by territoriality. They will seldom attack humans. When they do attack, victims have a higher probability of surviving by fighting back rather than submitting. But nobody said they were smart. No, my comment. What's your comment? About your tickets? Which one are you talking about? Oh, and I had my ticket to Evil Dead Rise of Man. I exchanged my ticket to get a free ticket instead, then use credits later. So did you get your tickets? I'm going to see it, but I have no reason to buy tickets in advance. When I went to see Renfield, there was 5 people in the theater with me. So Star Wars collecting hobbies. Howdy, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping by. Did your theaters that busy that you have to buy tickets out in advance? You said it locked your account? You're going to have to talk to somebody? That sucks. But to go back to what I said, the reason that they picked that song is Elizabeth Banks is in the movie Wet Hot American Summer, about the summer camp. And I think that's the theme song that they use at the beginning of that when the credits open. So Sheila wanted to use it to kind of hook into that since she's directing this. I was trying to remember how quick it is before they see the bear. There's a bear track on the ground. So here's why I didn't watch Carousel. Well, at least we had a chance to watch it, but people voted for this. I've been chatting with the director online, and I even bought Carousel and Carousel the second off of his store. I don't know if I better open this up. He sent me a poster, or two posters actually, of Carousel, and he signed it. What's 4239 mean? Does anybody know what 4239 is? But then he sent me a signed poster of this. A Meowie Christmas Vacation. Have you seen that, Cody? Look, he tried to sign it over there in black, and it's because it says stop over there, and it didn't work. So then he signed it in the middle. Have you seen that? That looks like a piece of trash, man. Oops, I dropped my. But I've been talking to him, and told him that we had been talking about the movie, and we want to do a watch along. I may work with him to see if he could stop by whenever we do watch it, and maybe he can the movie's only like an hour and 8 or 9 minutes. Maybe he can stay for a few minutes and talk about the movie before we watch it. So yay, 9 likes already. Get it out there. Hey there. So this was that Cage movie crap like hot garbage. No, actually it was pretty good. Shit, hold on, I'm dropping stuff. Oh, it was just that poster. Says Aaron also says my rewards card is incorrect or active. They're having a whole issue with it and pissing me off. Well, just call them during the week, man. What is horse? I couldn't find the movie. It's not horse. It was Carousel. Spelled like this. Hey, Cody, is that the Blu-ray cover you got for supporting it? The bonus features on the Blu-ray are bloopers, deleted scenes, cast interview, Gord, a Scott Lewis short, creator commentary, cast commentary, and trailers. So who signed that poster? Is that Steve or Scott? I can't tell. I can't tell who signed the damn thing. But because the director is Steve Radzinski, and that's who I've been talking to. So I'm trying to see if Steve will want to stop by whenever we do watch it. Like I said, talk for a few minutes and then we can watch the movie. But I've not seen any of the Meowie movies. I don't know that I do. I'll see you next comment, and I do agree. You're making me choke. Nicolas Cage and crap never belong together. Yeah, in the same sentence. It's for every customer. The program is down. Well, that sucks. Are you using the app or the website? You need to do Cannibal Holocaust watch along. You mean dude? Or Cannibal Ferox. Is that available on Tubi? I have to send you the response he gave to our discussion. He answered just about every question and praised us on our insight. Well, I haven't watched them yet, so there won't be any insight. So I don't know if I want to watch it in advance now. I watched that fan made Friday 13 Fall Camp Blood. Pretty good. Yeah, I liked it. Other than I told Peter, like I said in the review, I wasn't a huge fan of the ending, but I'm more of it trying to stay canon. Even though it was a good ending for a one-off movie, I don't like how you wouldn't have been able to put that right in the middle of 4 and 6. I have the Wild Eye Carousel DVD. I bought Carousel 2 Blu-ray direct from him though. Okay. Yeah, I'm true. I will say this. The one thing that I will probably touch on if I review it is it's not 100% a Nicolas Cage movie. It is not. Dracula is the side character. It's all about Renfield and how the relationship affects him. So he's in it way more than Nicolas Cage. And I will say that the Nicolas Cage scenes aren't wasted. He's been pretty much full-blown Dracula and everything he's in. Try both and just won't let people purchase. Don't know if you'll be able to use the app either. Well, I don't typically use Fandango because the movie theater I go to gives me a discount, doesn't charge me any fees. We have Georgia Theater Company in one of my theaters, and they've got an app and it charges you 0 fees to buy their tickets. So I usually just buy it straight from them. He agrees to disagree. I picked up the last copy from Swim from Walmart yesterday. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet because I was busy watching. Went to see Renfield yesterday. You watched 3 fan films. Which ones did you watch? Did you watch any of the ones that I just recommended? Both of those are pretty damn amazing. Dracula had a bigger part than I thought he would. It's pretty much where I thought it should be. I was hoping though that the finale would have had way more of him fighting in it than it did. I won't spoil, what happened, but I think it was too quick at the end and wrapped up too fast. Hey, Flat Movies and Pop Culture 13, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping by. We were just talking today. He was asking me if I wanted to come on and talk about his rank his Child's Play franchise, but the date we picked, I'm going to go see Evil Dead Rising probably Friday night or Saturday. So, but we're going to hook up again eventually, and I'll be on his channel too. So I appreciate you coming by and supporting me. Yeah, the black and white scenes are great. I think they did a good job of picking the scenes too that they used in there. Can fan films still have naked boobs? I know I heard some got deleted. Yeah, well, the fan films don't go through the MPAA, so they can have whatever they want in there. That I forget which one it was. I think Vengeance 2 might have some nudity in it, and it also has extreme gore. So it's just the director or whoever wrote it determining whether they want to put nudity in there or not. So it's usually not about that because those fan films are like kind of tight. Like Vengeance 2 though was like an hour and 48 minutes, so it's pretty long. It's got a lot of plot. It's not just Jason killing. And Roseblood was that way too with Peter Anthony's. He put a lot of plot in there and was pretty impactful when Jason did finally show up. But a lot of people got pissed at him because it's like a while into the movie before Jason shows up in Roseblood. But you don't have to worry about it in Fall of Camp Blood. They did an excellent job of hooking that right into the end of part 4. So I had promised him I was going to review those. I'll give you an idea. When I review stuff, I want my review to be kind of final, and I want it to be sincere. I have a hard time just wanting to sit in front of a camera and ramble. So with the job I have, it takes me a lot to sit down and write scripts and do stuff. So I typically don't do as many reviews as I would on this channel. I just I'm not a rambler. I don't like to sit in the front of a camera. Let me get something to drink. So we got Han Solo. I got a piece of popcorn. So we got Han Solo and Ice Cube Jr. hooked up with the drug dealers who got to go back and try to find all that cocaine. I have to book in advance because I want top row seats, and I was a bit let down with Renfield. The plot was all over the place, a crappy villain. Yeah, I say it was probably just enough Nick Cage, but I wished in the scenes he was in that they did more with those scenes. One of the films I was in was shown at a convention in Tampa this weekend, trying to get my wife to let me quit my day job. Which film was it? You can't just say that and not tell us what it was. Yeah, but dude, Doug, every single movie, if you watch the final trailer, cut stuff from the movie. That was, they usually make the trailers like before the final director's cut is actually done in movies. You're going to get that almost in every Hollywood movie. The first time I really noticed it, I probably told the story on the channel, was I went to see Major League in theaters, and I was sitting there waiting for the joke that I heard in the trailer because I loved it, where the guy was trying to console Charlie Sheen by telling him that the ball that the guy hit a home run on wouldn't have been out of mini parks. And he's like, that's right, name one. And he said Yellowstone. Well, I watched the whole fucking movie and it wasn't even in there. And I got pissed. So that was in the 80s. And then when they released Major League 2, they put that joke in there. So you're going to get that a lot. I just barely started Jay's Night. It's French, but English subtitles. Jay's Night? I don't recognize that one. I probably haven't watched that one. You want a Camp Blood fan film that includes the Camp Blood clown and Jason. That would be funny. Doomsday Story is available on Amazon. What's that about? Who's the man, the myth, the legend? Gator McCluskey showed up again this week. Appreciate you coming by. Really enjoyed The Pope's Exorcist. Russell Crowe was excellent and played an Italian perfectly. This played more like a mystery to me than horror, and even had a handful of laughs. Somebody said if you took The Exorcist and took out some of the horror elements and mixed it with the Da Vinci Code, that's what The Pope's Exorcist feels like. Did you get that at all? But I want to go see that, but I chose Renfield instead, and I probably won't have time to go to another movie during the week, and I'm going to see Evil Dead Rise next week, so that might have to wait till video. Yo, bartender, Jobu needs a refill. Yeah, I love that stuff about Jobu. Here Comes the Night, part 1 and 2. I don't know if I've seen that either. I have to think about that one. Then they want you to buy the unrated cut, and when it comes out, and the first one I remember is Suicide Squad and Jared Leto. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they did an unrated cut of Renfield, but they pretty much left all the violence in there, man. That's a lot of campy cartoon violence. I always thought I'd be pissed at the amount of CGI that was in it, but they did a really good job with the CGI blood compared to some movies. It's an anthology. I have to check that out. Let me know what you think. You and I have some pretty similar tastes in horror movies, and he said he agreed. So I'd probably be down with that because that'd be a different little mix that we hadn't gotten before. So if you're watching Cocaine Bear with us, you're at the scene where the lady is giving change for the guy that's buying the candy in there. So if you watch the doc and you know about Cocaine Bear, you'll see that they basically took a concept that would have lasted 20 minutes or less, and they spread it into a movie. So you got to get all these side characters involved in it. That's why it takes a little while to get started. Still hoping for that shipping info for Blood and Honey. Yeah, I haven't gotten that either, man. That sucks. And it's still not in stock on Amazon. I will say this. I don't know what people expected that shit on that Winnie the Pooh movie. It's not great, obviously, but if you like B-rated horror cheese, you're going to get exactly what you expect. The only problem I had with it, and I'll let you know, is they don't just, it's supposed to be a real bear and a real pig, but the masks are so plastic looking that they barely even move. That I know they didn't have a lot of money, but and it's almost like you should have had the characters dress up like Winnie the Pooh instead of actually being Winnie the Pooh. But either way, I thought it was kind of fun. After Carousel Spring Break Bikini. Well, I haven't confirmed that I'm watching Carousel next week since I talked to the director. If he can stop by, maybe we'll watch it. The problem you got with Carousel is it's only like an hour and 8 minutes, I think. So if he doesn't stop by, are we going to watch both of them? Because this one is like about an hour and 15 minutes. Well, it says 77 minutes. So an hour and 17 minutes. The bonus features are longer than the movies. So are we going to be able to squeeze both of those in? Or are we just going to like bullshit for 30 minutes after it goes off? You're all about trying to get those spring break tits into the live stream, dude. Do a double feature. Are you going to stay and watch both of them with us? Because if everybody leaves, I'm not sitting here watching that shit by myself. When's Backlash? I don't even know. When is Backlash? Don't they do 2 in May? And there's none in June? May 6th. So we got that. That would be 3 Sundays from now, because they know they're doing it on Saturday the 6th. You know I will. All right, well, I'll hold you to that. Well, release date is the 14th, so you figure international shipping takes a while. Release date for what? You talking about Winnie the Pooh? I don't think it got released on the 14th. I think they pushed it. I looked on one of the other sites, it said it was the 25th. So I don't think it's going to come out on the 14th. Plus, you would think that if it came out on the 14th, even if it's international, Amazon said it's shipping from Amazon. So you would think they would have got their copies early. Backlash is in 2 weeks. Well, it's May the 6th. So it would be 3 Sundays, because next week will be the 23rd and the 30th and the 7th, but I think it's on Saturday the 6th. So it's technically like 3 weeks. Yeah, I looked it up too, and it did say that it was coming out on the 14th, but I don't think it did. Because the site that Cody and I was looking at, Grindhouse Video, they had it, and it said 4 or 5, and I think that was a mistype, and it was supposed to be 4/25. So you got the little girl here eating fucking cocaine. Have you seen the trailer for the Boogeyman? Really frightening me anyway. Yeah, they showed it before Renfield. I saw it. I think I'd already seen part of it. Didn't pay attention to what I was watching before, but yeah, I thought it looked pretty good. Is it a Stephen King story? It said from the mind of Stephen King, but it looked pretty spooky. I liked it. What did I think of Knock at the Cabin? It was better than I was expecting. I know a lot of people disagree with me. I don't think that Batista is a very good actor. I think the directors and writers have created roles specifically for him, and that's what happened here. Is I know that they said M. Night Shyamalan wanted to work with him, and so he wrote that part specifically for him. I think he would have a hard time going in and doing a lot of auditions for different parts. I think parts are written for him, but he was good in it for that reason. I like the fact, I don't want to spoil it if anybody hadn't seen it. I'll just say this. One of the things that I thought the reason I didn't like it is I was waiting to try to figure out what the hook was going to be and what the twist was going to be. And then at the end, it ended up being you didn't need to do that. So it's almost like I need to watch it again. But I really liked it. The acting in it was really good. I liked the fact that the story played out, and I like how I've always liked flashbacks in movies. Like I love how Quentin Tarantino's done that, where they don't tell you the whole story, they don't give you backstory, and then as things happen and they trigger key scenes to be remembered by the characters, and they show you the flashbacks. I really love that style of movie making, so you don't have to get a lot of backstory. You can just dive right into the story, and that's what they did. But I really think after the last couple of turds that M. Night Shyamalan laid, other than like the Glass stuff, I think it put him back on the map. I think he's shown that he can really do a good job. So I really liked it, but I really wish somebody else other than Batista had been in it. You're good, man. Doesn't matter. Like I said, I mean, I like that he played a good character too. I just don't think his acting was that great in there. It was written directly for him. Yeah, I didn't want to say what you just said, but since you put it out there, yeah, the twist was that there was no twist, that what was happening was really happening. But that's what I was saying. I was like waiting and waiting, and it was like, is that going to be it? No, is that going to be it? It kind of ruined it. It's like the slow build built to nothing. And so it was the end was a teeny bit of a letdown. Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, if the place we ordered it from should have had a certain amount of stock set aside, so I don't think it's going to come out to the 25th though. Looks like you're setting up FTR versus Aussie Open at the probably. I don't watch any of that AEW mess. If they bring CM Punk back, they will never fucking get me to watch it again. That guy's a cancer and he sucks. I hate CM Punk. I love Signs. To me, that's second best film, low budget, War of the Worlds. Yeah, what do you think is first? Do you consider which one do you consider his best movie? I almost consider Signs to me to be his best movie. I love it. But I don't know. I have to sit around and think about what I consider his best. If you say The Sixth Sense, that's fine. But to me, that movie, once you know the hook, it loses a lot of its luster there. So subsequent viewings of The Sixth Sense have not been as good to me for some reason. I don't know why. I saw your comment. It's a classic. It's good. I just don't know, man. Once I know the hook, so I think once I knew the hook of like I like Unbreakable, that trilogy. I really love Split, man. The acting job that what's his head, the main character, I forget his name, brain fart, did in that is just outstanding. It beats anything that's anybody's done in any of his movies. I'll be back. Got to help my neighbor move a washing machine. Oh, man. Good for you. I like that it really happened. Yeah. Punk will be back, guaranteed. I can't stand but guaranteed. I was at a show where he cashed in Money in the Bank and my buddy, and now we're the only ones upset. I didn't really mind him back then, but he's become an ultimate douchebag, dude. He's bought into his own stardom. Like, he thinks he's the best in the world, like the character. I love rewatching Sixth Sense to remind me how stupid I am. Yeah, I'll give you that. Then I have to watch it, and I was like, how did I not figure that shit out? Who is the better actor, The Rock, Cena, or Batista? I don't know if any of them are good actors. I don't know. I feel that The Rock has, I don't know, man. It definitely is not Cena. None of the three of them really act well. Almost Batista. The Rock has been pretty decent though in comedies and dramas. So is Batista. I'm not gonna say John Cena at all. I don't know. Probably actually Batista might be the better actor. You can watch my channel and you might not think as much of me about after I tell you this, but I liked all three of them for three different reasons. Number one, I really like the concept of rebooting the Halloween movie after 40 years. Other than it was a little confusing or a little silly that Laurie was still been as traumatized. To me, they should have had Halloween 1 and 2 be canon and had some explanation of the explosion, blew Michael out into the hall, after he was on fire. They put him out, and because of the coveralls and the mask, he didn't burn as much as he should have. Or so, I don't know, something to the effect of she would not have been as traumatized with him only coming after her for 15 minutes at the end of that movie, would she? I don't know. And with him being in jail, I just didn't buy the fact. Why not just fucking move away from Haddonfield and then he would never be able to find out where you were? But I just love how that movie played out. I love when he got the mask back. I love the scene when he, arrived back in town. I didn't like the Dr. Sartain stuff. You didn't got me on a rant here. I really like Halloween Kills. That the whole 20 minutes at the beginning is amazing with the flashback scene. And I obviously don't like the whole evil dies tonight shit. So they all have bad aspects, but I like the Halloween Ends. I thought it was going to be a shitty concept. I ran about it on my channel. If you go back and look at the videos, I was worried about it. And then I think it was because I was trying to get the venom out of my system once I had read the synopsis of what it was going to be about and went to see it. I didn't think it was as bad. And every viewing that I've had after that, I've liked it more and more. It's a really good movie. It's just not a good Michael Myers movie. Yeah, I know. They were talking about dividing the rosters up, so they're going to Raw and SmackDown that shit just because of him. Yes, I'm seeing Evil Dead Rise. Planning on trying to see it Friday night, but if not, Saturday for sure. Yeah, and I do think Cena is successful in Peacemaker just like Batista was with some of his stuff because they wrote that specifically for John Cena. I can't see anybody else being that character but him now. Yeah, the whole, I was a little worried after the first episode of Peacemaker. It wasn't that great, but then after the second episode, I realized that they were not going to be that they weren't going to just cater to DC fans. They weren't going to say that everything was great. They kind of made fun of themselves, and I love how they made fun of the Justice League showing up at the end in the final episode of the season. The only thing I don't like about it is he's kind of caught up in the DC rebuild hell to where Gunn has got to wait until he finishes writing some of these scripts for some of these other reboot movies before he's going to write season 2 of Peacemaker. But Peacemaker will eventually come. I didn't sound right, did it? Thoughts on the Last Thing film as a prequel. I did it. Underrated. I just watched that yesterday after I got back from seeing Renfield. I actually watched that. The whole concept is great. I love everything about it other than it's too much CGI. The scene where they're in the helicopter and the guy's face cracks open looks like shit in high definition. There's a couple of the other scenes when the guy turns into the thing, walks over top of the guy that don't look that bad when their faces meld and stuff. But there's actually some scenes in there that look terrible in CGI. If they could have used a quarter of the effects as practical effects like they did in the original, that movie would be fucking gold. I love it. It's very underrated. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I think, is a great actress. I don't think people give her enough credit. She's great in 10 Cloverfield Lane. Instead of having that shitty fifth movie with Die Hard trying to reboot it with a tough guy son, why not reboot Die Hard with the daughter in it and have it to where she starts like trying to solve crimes and gets in awkward positions where she's a fish out of water like he was. How about that? Halloween 2018 was the best. Out of the three, yeah, it was the best. I've seen that at least once. Roddy Piper and Hell Comes to Frogtown. I don't remember where I saw it. Was that on Shudder one time, I think? And I remember laughing at it a lot, but I really couldn't even tell you what the hell it was even about. Actually, I haven't watched that trailer yet. Everybody keeps telling me to watch it, and every time I go to do it, I'd find something else. Piper has a movie with Billy Blanks that is great also. What is the name of that one? You know, the Gator asked me that question about movies that were on Blu-ray. No, I wish were on Blu-ray. And I literally held a movie in my hand during the week and was like, fuck, why didn't I think of this one? And now I can't think of what it was. I'm getting old. I got to write that shit down. It's a Dracula trailer. Yeah, I know. Everybody was telling me about watching it, but I just haven't had time. Yeah, I know. It's weird how it's almost like they get overconfident and they think they can take any shit idea that they've had and can turn it into great movies. So like John Carpenter did that, man. He wrote a wave of movies where he would do one or two really good ones and then one bad one. And then say M. Night Shyamalan did that. What is the worst? Well, I'm going to say this. M. Night Shyamalan, if you don't say The Happening, you can't say The Happening. What's the worst movie after that? Back in Action? I've never heard of that. Back in Action. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Cody said, do you do other things instead of watching along? He probably does everything other than watching along. Here's the bear coming up. This is one of my favorite parts of the movie here. You guys know that dude with the red, is that red hair supposedly? That's the worst wig I've ever seen. That's the dude that plays in Modern Family. Of the gay couple. He's obviously the skinny one. I figured you say Lady in the Water. That was the reason I said you got to get rid of The Happening. I actually don't mind Lady in the Water. I didn't like it the first time I watched it, but I've watched it a couple times, and it wasn't quite as bad as I remembered it being. Another thing is really good. I really like The Village, man. Everybody hates The Village, even though when I was watching it in the theaters, I knew what the hook was. I think my wife got pissed at me because I leaned over in the movie and told her what I thought the twist was going to be. I could screw around on YouTube. Did he make anything good after those? It is when he grabs her on the ass here. You know, I'm my taste in movies is weird. I like Jack Ryan movies like the Hunt for Red October, but somebody was telling me on one of my viewers when I watches my movie hunts, I was skipping over some of those movies like Red October of his that were on sale. And I was like, well, I've got them all on Blu-ray, but I've just never been super fan of those movies. I don't know why. I never got into them. What, it pissed you off that it was in modern day times and not? Yeah, that one is the one I pick. That's his worst movie, I think. The Last Airbender is shit. My son is at the age where he was into Avatar, the Last Airbender series, and we thought that was going to be good. Hold on a second. This popcorn is dry as hell tonight. I'm not going to eat anymore. I've never seen Lady in the Water of the Village. I've seen Old. Old wasn't like to me. M. Night Shyamalan's got a lot of movies that are kind of like hovering right in the middle that aren't terrible, but they aren't really good. Like Old is one of those. Like the hook on that was the twist at the end was kind of garbage. I didn't like it. Halloween, The Thing, Escape from New York, then all garbage. Or were they all garbage? Let me look up John. I ranked the John Carpenter movies in a video for that guy that was here earlier. I was on his channel. Flat, and then he lost all of his videos. And so I said I needed to go back and actually record my John Carpenter ranking. So let me see. You said Escape from New York, Thing, and Halloween. Those were actually my top 3. I liked Christine. I thought Christine was really good. We were talking about that on one of the videos I did. And I said Christine was one of the more faithful to the book movies that I can remember. And it actually, I thought the damn movie was pretty good. They Live is pretty good. I like a lot of his. There's When the Bear Smells the Cocaine. I was like, I love that he goes running over to the dude and goes running up his tree. This is when the guy gets basically his leg ripped off. But yeah, he did have just as many bad movies as good movies. So one of those, what do you call it? Guilty pleasures is Big Trouble in Little China. I like that movie. I like The Fog. And I kind of like vampires. And there's kind of where the line is for me, where In the Mouth of Madness is okay. Prince of Darkness, Assault on Precinct 13, okay. Memoirs of an Invisible Man, that should have been way better. Escape from LA, why did you make it? Ghosts of Mars, hot garbage. Village of the Damned, why Christopher Reeve decided to be in that, I don't know. And The Ward is not good either. So he had just as many bad movies as good movies. Anything I recommend watch on Netflix, I have that instead of Peacock now. You know, I just watched something on Netflix. Give me a minute, I'll tell you. Glass was awful. I liked Glass. Sorry, man. That's the good thing about movies. Some of us can like movies and something that others hate. Watch Tiger King on Netflix. Star Wars. What? Vampires was decent. Yeah, I liked when John Carpenter tries to do like a almost like a country type twang to his music in some of his movies. He did it in several parts of Escape from LA, and then he did it in the music for Vampires. I really like the soundtrack to Vampires. I even bought the Twilight Time Blu-ray of Vampires just to get the soundtrack, because you can get the isolated score. Hey, Bizarro Supergirl shows up tonight. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, he did some screenplays for some stuff too, but I was talking about the ones he actually directed. Hey, Soups. Yeah, the 3 Fear Street movies are good. I like 94 best of all. What? Well, it's funny when you're in the middle of talking and I've got the movie playing in my ear. I had it a little too loud when I'm trying to concentrate, and all of a sudden you hear that lady yell, "You piles of shit." The Fear Street movies are good. Which streaming service has Summer of '84 on it? Whichever one's got that, you need to watch Summer of '84. Hey, you, Sixth Sense, probably the best he did. It's pretty, like I said, because I haven't enjoyed it as much on previous viewings, I don't want to rank that probably as number 1. But I haven't decided. I don't know. It's right up there though. Everybody's saying hello to Bizarro. Ever listen to commentary on the thing? Yes, I have. I've listened to his commentary tracks for Halloween, The Thing, and I can't remember. Didn't he do one with Kurt Russell for on Escape from New York? I think I might have listened to that one too. Yeah, I don't want to listen to a ton of directors' commentaries, but I used to have the Halloween Criterion Laserdisc, and it was one of the first uh, commentary tracks that I ever listened to, and that was when John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis did it. So there's some that I do like though, but um, I guess when I go to watch Carousel, maybe I need to watch it ahead of time and listen to the it says cast commentary and creator commentary. Do you have that commentary on your release, Cody? Does the director, is he included in that? When I was a kid, my parents got HBO one night, a film called Stranger in the House. Later found out it was Black Christmas. Gave me this nightmares. Oh yeah, I mean I love Bob Clark's um Black Christmas. I covered the fan film that they got. It's Me, Billy, and it's really good because they got some of the original people back. I think some people got pissed at me because I said I didn't think that the main actress was that good. But either way, I mean, some people take offense when you pick on a fan film, but I mean, it's a fan film, man. It's not going to be like top notch. Everything's not going to be the greatest, so you can pick on it a little bit. But yeah, I love Black Christmas, and it's funny that he made that. Bob Clark made A Christmas Story, and he made Porky. So that dude went across the gambit of genres there. Family movies, horror movies, and adult comedies. Who aware are all the cable action stars now? Those were the days when low budget action films were on cable. Well, you get them in the Walmart DVD section now. So you had for a while, you had every week Nicolas Cage was releasing a movie. Speaking of that, somebody jokingly told me, I don't know if it's true, that Nick Cage went into the black with one of his last movies. I don't know if it was Renfield or the one. No, I think it was the one where he did Massive Talent. So now he can basically do whatever he wants, and he's making money. So he's back. He's back in the black, and maybe we won't see the Walmart section full of his movies. It weirded me out when I found out that Bruce Willis, was going through his dementia issue, and that for the last year, every other week, there's a damn Bruce Willis movie that popped up at Walmart. What the hell was he doing? Did he know that something was happening and he wanted to just get as many movies out there as possible? I don't know. I love commentaries of B movies. So do I. I listen to some of those too. My friends also came and said it was really good. Well, I got it on in the background here. It is. I would say it's a string of decent scenes together. It doesn't take itself seriously. It's exactly what it needs to be. As I was eating some popcorn earlier and about choked. And it's a popcorn flick. Nothing great in it, but it's got several like laugh out loud scenes. I'll tell you that that was funny. The one part in Renfield, I won't spoil too much, but the part where Renfield is fighting a guy and he literally grabs his arms and pushes on him and rips his arms off, and then he uses his arms as weapons. As soon as that happened and the blood splattered, I literally out loud went, "Oh shit." And right when I said that, the character on the screen that watched it happen, they zoomed to him and he went, "Oh shit." And so I made myself laugh in the middle of the theater. You always watch ahead so you can join in on the conversation. Have we ever really sat down and watched the movie that we were supposed to be watching? Yeah, that's what I said. He's back to doing what he wants. He's in the black now. But I don't know why Bruce Willis did all those cheesy movies, though. I mean, you would think he'd had money. Did he know that he was sick and then maybe he was trying to get out as much work as possible before he had to stop? Well, that sucks. I wish they had the balls to remake Race 2000. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. They didn't even have the balls to do it right when they made Death Race with Jason Statham in it. So at the theater that I was at, this is the part with the ambulance coming. This is one of the best parts of the movie here. They do a flashback cinema, and they every week on Sunday and Wednesday they show old movies. And at the end of the trailer, they were showing the movies coming up. They're showing Blazing Saddles. So number one, somebody was asking me, do I think they would ever be able to make a movie like Blazing Saddles again? No, and I'll tell you why. They made that History of the World Part 2. If you watched any like I watched the first 2 episodes and did a review, that show is shit on Hulu. They can't, it's like it's a weak sauce, as they say, or as Enzo used to say on WWE, it's soft. They would never be able to make a movie like that with the maybe on video, straight to video, uncut, or but not at the theater. They'd never be able to do that again. I think he knew. Probably did. Death Race had the voice of the Universal Monster Classic Monsters VHS promo back in the 906. This is that dude. He's getting ready to go in and find the bear. This is one of the funnier parts of the movie here. His reaction. Her ass is leaking blood. Yeah, I saw a picture. I love Crank, man. That's one of my favorite movies with him in it. I'm going to have to buy that. One of the best horror films of all time are mentioned. You never hear Poltergeist. I saw that 6 times in the theater. To me, it's a classic. And rumor is Spielberg directed it. Yeah, I bought the 4K Steelbook. I watched it again, and that movie is spooky as hell. And I'm gonna just date myself as far as everybody knows how old I am. I used to think Jo Beth Williams was fucking hot. So when I was young, I used to love that scene where she flips upside down the bed, and her shirt comes up, and you see her panties, and she's walking around 3/4 of the movie with her nipples hard. But the movie was kind of spooky. I don't know that I've ever been scared of movies because I've watched horror movies my whole life. The thing that freaked me out the most as a kid was watching Salem's Lot on television. And at the end of that one part, the kid comes floating up out of the fog on the window and starts scraping on it. That's about the creepiest shit that I ever saw as a kid and worried me and like bothered me where I dreamed about it. But I remember watching that scene in a PG movie of that guy taking his fingers and sticking them in his face. And even though the effect was cheesy and you knew it was fake, it still weirded me out that was in there, that his face, he was ripping his own face apart. And so to answer, yeah, I heard that Steven Spielberg secretly directed part of that as well. He was Frankenstein in Death Race. Yeah, I remember that. How old are you again? 35? Do you really want to know? I'm 51. So I think I told that story one time that when somebody told me when I was talking about doing YouTube, whatever, that I was too fucking old to do it. And I was like, nobody should tell you you're too old to do anything. You're only as old as you feel. I like John Wayne Westerns. I'm not a big Western fan. I like True Grit. I even like the remake of True Grit. I like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I love Yellowstone. Not yet. Why did I say Yellowstone? Tombstone. This is the funny part of that movie right here. See some of the episodes of Dark Side of the Ring season 4. I haven't watched any of the new ones yet. Remember, I was going to watch it after we talked about it. I watched whatever the first episode was. I started watching part of it and had to stop it. Look, here's the damn bear running after the ambulance right here. This shit is funny. She's like, I love it when he's like, kill it, not the fucking tree, the big fucking bear. Look, that bear is so smart. He was getting ready to go off the road. He hit up on that curb like to push off on and make himself faster. And this is when the bear jumps and you're ready to jump into the back. I love this part. This has got some of the. There he goes. Cowabunga. I love the fact that she falls out and they don't just have it to where she slides down the road, man. Like in the dude. Remember the dude? If you're still here, do you remember the dude in Smokey and the Bandit? Was it 2 or 3? Is it 2? Smokey and the Man 2, where the guy comes out of the ambulance and he's swamp fever, swamp fever. Unforgiven is my favorite Western. Yeah, that's one of mine too. I really like Unforgiven. Not as much in the older ones. You think All American Massacre will ever be released about the Chop Top character? I don't know. We were talking about that one weekend here on this live stream, and I doubt it because of rights reasons. I don't know. I didn't know whether any of them aired. Didn't one of them come on? Or was it? It must have been a season. I haven't watched every single one of those, just so you know. I've watched most. It was one I hadn't seen, and I was watching. I can't remember. It was the one we were talking about a couple weeks ago, and I hadn't seen it yet. So none of the new seasons is out yet. I must have still missed a couple episodes from the previous season. I'm not too old. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully I'll wake up on time tomorrow on Friday. I will set my alarms and go off, or I cancel them because I was sleeping on my phone. You didn't get fired, did you? There are so few great Stephen King films. My favorite is The Shining, and King hates it. Love, Misery, Carrie, and a few others. I like Christine, like I told you earlier. But my top 3 slashers. Well, number one's got to be Halloween because Jaws is my favorite movie and Halloween's my second. So I'd say Halloween. I don't know. That'd be awful hard, man. I like so many. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. There's so many. Friday the 13th Part 6 is right up there with me as far as my favorite Friday the 13th movie. So that might be up there. Maybe the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Do you consider that a slasher? Because that's so different than the rest of them. That's why I like it so much. I like that one. I'm not as big a fan as all the rest of them. Will be a Sonny Candido, Magnum TA, Abdullah Butcher, Marty Jannetty. I don't care about the Abdullah Butcher one. I really might want to see the Magnum TA one because, they had him playing for a big major push until he got that motorcycle accident. Hulu has all 3 seasons. I've got Hulu. Maybe that's where I was watching it. I can't remember. The movie that I reviewed on my very poor DVD that doesn't have a Blu-ray yet was Lover's Lane. That's a really underrated slasher movie that I think deserves a Blu-ray release, and that's going to come out. Is it this week from Arrow? So I'm going to buy that. I really do like My Bloody Valentine. I don't think that gets enough love either. Jesus, man, you guys are It's Psycho. I think it is a slasher movie. It's got a fucking somebody killing people with a butcher knife. It might be one of the first ones that could be considered a slasher movie. What's your favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie? What's your top 3 Hitchcock movies? You ask good questions. But I like so many movies, it's hard to answer top. That's why I don't do a lot of top 3 and not 5 lists on my channel because I think I got a pretty solid ranking of Halloween now, and I did that in my review series. So if you guys want to watch that movie, you'll know how I rank Halloween. And I think I ranked Peter Anthony and I ranked the Friday the 13th movies. But other than that, they're so hard, man. Like, I think I would really like to rank part ones of all the good slasher movies. Like put those in a thing and try to figure out which one I like best. I don't know if I've seen that or not. Seems like I have. Is it on YouTube? I watched that Ric Flair Flight from Hell episode. That was good. Kino has been stepping up with the great Blu-rays, especially for Bert. Yeah, they have. I ordered some stuff from that last Kino sale, dude, and I mean, it's been like, I like that part. He's like, you shot off my fucking finger. And he's like, how did he get those two fingers? So he lost those two. How would a bullet have got those two fingers? My Kino order still, I haven't even gotten a shipping notice. So, I mean, that's starting to piss me off. But hey, not top 3 slashers. What's your top 3 Hitchcock movies? Yeah, it did, DJ. It wasn't many new info, though. Just more people found out about it. So his top 3 are Psycho, Halloween, Scream. You're not going to like me. I think Scream is very overrated. It's good, but I will say Scream, the first one is so much better than all of the others. I mean, it's like head and shoulders above everything that came out afterwards. I don't like the fact of having a different person under the mask every time. Yeah, dude, every time I've watched Psycho 2, I've liked it a little better. I also was talking to somebody and they were like, because we were talking about Psycho 2, and I was like, his real mother, if nobody else in that series deserved to die, his real fucking mother did, the way he treated her. If you had to say that, they were like, what horror movie characters actually did deserve to die in the movies they were in? Not yet, but nobody wants to do my dishes. What? Yeah, I'm one of the ones that, here's me. I'm an overreactor. I'll admit it. I read concepts, or I like to read about spoilers because I'm a visual guy. Now, even if you tell me what's going to happen, seeing it is totally different. But usually people can't also describe everything in great detail the right way. So when I heard what the possible plot was going to be about that Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, I made a video and shit all over it the same way I did Halloween Ends. And then I saw it. And I think people are like, if not, what's a good way to put it? If nothing is correct in Halloween Kills, the evil dies tonight bullshit mentality is just true in real life. People are bandwagoners. If a group of people say that something is bad, they want to jump on the bandwagon and join the party and say it's bad. I'm not that way. If I say, like, I had to admit it, I don't know that I think Sixth Sense is his greatest movie, just because I'm kind of bored with it now. If I want to rewatch a movie, I'm going to rewatch Signs. Maybe I'm thinking Signs might be my favorite movie of his. Same way with that Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I thought it was going to be bad. The concept seems bad. It's got problems, like about the way they handle Sally's character. But when you watch it, it isn't quite as bad as you thought it was going to be. Plus, the characters are so shitty, you want every one of them to die. So other than maybe the main girl who went through that school shooting, everybody else, you want them to fucking die. So my rant's over. Psycho, Birds, Vertigo. Birds used to be pretty high for me, and when I've watched it a couple times, I like how it's got the slow build in it. But I think it might have dropped. I think mine might be Psycho, and a close second is Rear Window. That movie, dude, is so well made and so well acted. Rear Window, it's kind of hard to and if you haven't seen Rope, you need to watch Rope. That's one of the ones that basically it's a movie all in one setting, happens in one apartment with a lot of the longest shots ever in the history of movie. It's really underrated. I really like Rope, but I don't know what number 3 would be for me. It's probably Birds. Oh my God! I got a new property mail the other day from another. He don't talk to me anymore. He's pissed at me. So what'd you get? He told me that he didn't have any more props because I asked him, did he have anything to sell? Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I think I did my review where I said it's hard to shit on it. It's got a lot more that's good about it than bad. Did I like Cabin in the Woods? Is that you talking about the one that had Thor in it? Yeah, I really liked Cabin in the Woods because when I was watching it in the middle of it, I was like, "Holy shit!" I didn't realize what direction it was going to take, and it was so unique that really liked it. I might get a talking to tomorrow because on Friday she asked if I was going to mop while waiting for dishes, and I was like, I have enough. She didn't like how I said it, and then said I've been a jerk. Well, you probably sat around like daydreaming about titties all day. Oh damn! You guys see, it's too hard. I can't just on the fly come up with this shit. Top 3 final girls or final girl movies. Amy Steele is good in Friday 13th Part 2. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis. Like if you said Scream Queens, I've already done a list of those. You can go back and watch that. Final girls, though, I guess Lori from the first Halloween, maybe Sydney from Scream. I'd have to think about that. For the last 2 weeks, but she never said anything. I guess you have to move here and I can hire you, man. Are you a sci-fi horror fan? I love it. I'm just a movie fan. I always tell people I'm not a huge fan of musicals, but there's about 5 or 6 I can watch. I'm not a huge fan of westerns, but there's some good, well-made movie westerns that I like. But if I had to say what genre I like the most, it's straight up just horror or sci-fi. So sci-fi horror, yeah. And then I like comedies probably right after that. Yeah, so you can't forget Rear Window, man. That shit is good. Who'd you buy it from? Yeah, you have to ignore plot holes in most movies. Yeah, man, you gotta watch your attitude, or it won't let you go anywhere, man. I started as the data entry clerk, and I had a pretty shitty attitude when I started because but as I moved into the job and realized, as I talked to my wife and my dad and my best friend, that no, there's no job. It's good, and you got to deal with fucking pissy people all day, no matter where you're at. So I had the mentality that I'm not gonna let anybody else affect my attitude or my ability to do my job. And I'm the president of the company today, so I think it fucking worked. I don't know. Was she the first? I think she was the first mainstream final girl, but there's probably other final girls. I always make a mess after I do these live streams. I have to come in and clean up, but um, we was talking about these final girls. And Jamie Lee Curtis, her mother. I also loved in Psycho the fact that the person you thought was going to be the main girl in the movie turned out to be, she ends up dying within the first 20-30 minutes. So I like how they flipped it on his head. Yeah, I mean, you can stand up for yourself and still be respectful, though. You gotta watch how you are perceived. And work perception is reality, even if it's not true. If enough people perceive you to be one thing, that's what's gonna be the narrative. Look at it. There is snowflake in that cocaine down on that bear right now. Well, here's a plot hole in this movie. So Ray Liotta said that his boss was going to be coming after him or whoever because he lost all that cocaine. If they have a plan in place where they know that the police, if they come after our FBI or whoever, and they have to drop it and they don't have trackers on the bags, you're never going to be able to recover it all. So if that's part of the plan and it's not his fault that that they were going to, somebody's going to take the plane, how did they ever think they were getting all these bags of cocaine back? Wouldn't they be happy with just a certain portion of it? No, I don't know. I don't want any movie musicals at all unless I have to, much less a Bollywood one. Come on now. Thoughts on the Shining sequel? Doctor Sleep. I like the book a little more than the movie. But I do like the ending of the movie as far as where they changed it to where he's back at the hotel. I think that was really well done. And then it also kind of made up. I know King thinks the same thing. Kind of made up some of the stuff that happened in the original, but I really liked Doctor Sleep, and I thought that the acting in it was really well. Edwin McGregor is really good. I don't remember the lady's name that played in it. She was good. I like the fact that they weren't afraid to have somebody play Jack Nicholson's character in the bar scene. I thought that took some guts. But I don't like it as good as The Shining. But yeah, I think there's probably some movies before that as well that they were done before Texas Chainsaw. But so Sally would have been the first final girl before Jamie. If I thought about it, I'm pretty sure there's some older movies. I'm not reading all your shit out loud. That's personal stuff. But I worked in the kitchen too in college, man. I had to wash fucking dishes. That stuff sucks. What year was The Shining sequel? I don't know when Doctor Sleep came out. Hey, Cody, so you see what would happen if we watch Carousel and it's only like an hour and 8 minutes? We'll never watch any of the movie because we've been bullshitting about it. I mean, I haven't watched hardly any of this movie. Doctor Sleep came out in 2019. Ooh, I don't like when songs get stuck in my head, so I better not watch those. Other than Goodfellas, what's anybody's favorite Ray Liotta movie? Thoughts on Rosemary Baby's Polanski was a great director. Just watched Chinatown and loved it. I liked Rosemary's Baby. I don't think I liked it when I was younger. It took me a while to watch some of those older movies. It's a little bit slower burn to like them. But as I've gotten older, I really do like Rosemary's Baby. Chinatown is another one. I didn't watch that movie at all when I was younger just because I didn't think I would like it. But then I regretted not watching it later in life. I was like, why in the hell hadn't I watched this one before? I can't remember. What was the name? The Two Jakes? Was that the sequel? I didn't really like that very much. But I like basically any damn thing that Jack Nicholson's in. It doesn't matter. I was looking up some other Roman Polanski movies. Rosemary's Baby, Macbeth, Chinatown, The Tenant. I think I remember that. Frantic with Harrison Ford wasn't that bad. He directed The Ninth Gate. I didn't know that. The shit you learn when you're looking up stuff on Internet Movie Database. Oh, I didn't know that. Wes Craven's first movie has Miles Girl. What was his official first movie? I know Last House on the Left, the final girl fucking, I mean, it wasn't a final girl in it. She fucking died. Was he a director? Wes Craven. They got Last House on the Left as his first movie, so I guess that didn't really truly have a final girl because I wouldn't count the mother as a final girl. What do you guys think of Swamp Thing? I did that video talking about you're going to finally get to see Adrienne Barbeau's beautiful boobs. What do you guys think of that? I need to rant to someone. I feel like I've been getting more angry when I might snap. Do you guys not have fucking HR? Do you not have an HR director you can talk to? I did anger management, Doug. I can tell you if you aren't ready for it, you won't get anything out of it. That's the way therapy is, man, any kind. If you're not open, don't go into it open-minded, it's not going to do you any good whatsoever. Yeah, but Last House didn't have a final girl in it. Yeah, do you mind that he twisted kind of like he did in Inglourious Basterds, twisted the reality? Do you mind that he twisted the reality there? I didn't. I like the ending of it. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a pretty epic movie. I think it would be really hard for me to rank Tarantino movies. What's your top 3 Tarantino movies? Best thing is dudes could be ugly as you know what, and they still get going. That's any movie, man. No matter what the dude looks like, he can get trim. I've seen it. It's not. Let's just say it. Hey, man, boobs are boobs, but just the fact that I remember seeing that, and then when I got it on Blu-ray from Screen Factory, it was like, what the hell, man? This is cut. I hate censored stuff once you've seen it unedited before. But yeah, she's that was when she was at her best. She looked amazing. So yeah, you won't we all need to support that movie and buy it. What's up, Michael? Appreciate you coming by. Maybe go into boxing so I can mess someone up and not and no HR. Well, that sucks. You don't see a shining sequel on here. They might that Dr. Sleep is fairly new. I doubt you can find that on Tubi or Netflix. That twist was brilliant. I liked it. Like I said, you definitely need to find a way to unload or vent. I stuff it down myself and it's not. Yeah, I did that too for a while. You got to you're going to vent on the wrong person. That's all I'll say about that. Brian Sanchez, what's up, man? Well, we got Cocaine Bear going on, but we basically haven't talked much about Cocaine Bear. So his Quentin Tarantino list Gators is Pulp Fiction, Hollywood, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Reservoir Dogs. You know, I'm starting to think I would flip Reservoir Dogs in Hollywood. I remember I hadn't seen a Quentin Tarantino movie before, and I remember going to the beach, and on the way down there, we stopped at a flea market, and they had a section of movies probably only about this big. Maybe like a dozen movies. And I remember getting the DVD of Reservoir Dogs. And I was like, I don't even know what this is. And my dad looked at it and said, I haven't seen that either. I don't know what that is. And my dad was big into movie stuff. He hadn't seen it. I was like, we were buying this. And I remember watching it one night when we got back to the room. And we were the only two that liked it, and we thought it was awesome. And I remember driving back home and immediately the next day watching it again. It was so good. So I might flip Reservoir Dogs and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And so it'd probably be Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs. And if anything beats Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for me, it could be the first Kill Bill. Or if you counted Kill Bill 1 and 2 together in a story, maybe that would be, but it'd be pretty close. Well, there's already Cocaine Shark. There's already Cocaine Cougar. There's already going to be Meth Gator, and those are all B cheesy like asylum type movies. I guess the Last House remake was different. She survives in that one, I think. No, or does she? Last House on the Left. Last House on the Left. I don't think she does. I think they find her and she dies. Or did they? Or did they put her in the boat at the end and drive her off? I can't remember if she dies or not. That's a good question. They shouldn't. I don't. They should have left it alone if she did survive. Cocaine Shark comes out in July. Yeah, we're talking. These movies we're talking about are not top tier releasing movies at the theater. They're straight to video shit you might find in Walmart. Crack Coon is the one I couldn't think of. Yeah, Doctor Sleep is good. Jaws is one, so let's say top 4. I don't know. That'd be tough. Hold on a second. Let me give me a list in front of me. I'll probably miss one. Mine will probably be different than yours. So let's see what he's directed. I know most people are probably going to say Schindler's List. I'm not putting that up there. That's such a tough watch. It's a good movie, but that's a fucking tough watch, man. Where he did Raiders. Damn, man. Saving Private Ryan is probably number 1 to me. Other than Jaws. Jaws would be 1, that would be 2. Raiders of the Lost Ark's got to be up there. If I'm not going to put Schindler's List on there, it's got to be probably one of the Jurassic Park movies for me. I don't know. What about yours? Oh, I forgot about E.T. Mine would probably be Jaws, Saving Private Ryan, Raiders, then either E.T. or Jurassic Park. Now I'm confused. I got to watch them again now. Is last Saturday I saw Nicolas Cage Renfield on the theater I enjoyed. Yeah, I saw it too, man. I thought it was good. I might do a review. Scariest PG rated movie of all time. Well, damn, Poltergeist is one of them. Jaws is one of them. If back then, man, people didn't want to fucking go in the water. I don't know what other ones would have been rated PG. I didn't really keep up with ratings back then. Doug's still mad at work, man. We're going to have him going to bed where he's not going to be relaxed at all. You start talking about movies, dude. Don't think about work when you're not at work. His top 3 are Django Unchained, Kill Bill 1, and Pulp Fiction. My wife hates Pulp Fiction. We were dating, and I think we were still dating. Yeah, we were dating, and I took her to see Pulp Fiction, and she was like, I don't know if I want to like your choices of movies. If you go to take your girlfriend on a date and you got a drug dealing guy getting anally raped by some redneck killers, that might not go over. Or if you survive that date and we end up we got married, and maybe it's gonna last because you can watch anything together. But I haven't watched a Serbian film with my wife yet, so sorry. You're fine, dude. Burn Offerings was scary when I was little, dude. I hadn't watched that in years. I think I got it on DVD. I never upgraded that if it came out. It was okay, but I don't really remember it. It's been so long. I need to see more Tarantino. You need to see all Tarantino. He's only got like what 9 movies. He's getting ready to do his 10th one, and then he says he's going to retire. You can watch 9 movies. They're all good in their own right. Movie you're embarrassed to admit you love. Holy shit, I got a lot. I don't know. Are we talking like first run movies? I don't know, man. I mean, I like so many movies. I like fucking Caddyshack too. I don't like love it, but you said like. I like it. I like fucking Smoking the Bandit 3. So I mean, I could name basically 100 movies that I like and nobody else is gonna like. Midsommar. I just argued with somebody about how great that movie was, and they said it was terrible. I don't know that I'm embarrassed though. I'm not embarrassed to say I like any movie. Yeah, I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too. I need to see many movies. Wish I could get paid for seeing movies. Fuck if we don't all want to do that, man. You're missing the end of this if you're not watching it because Ray Liotta's getting ready to have a bear make him bite the big one, so to speak. I was trying to remember. It did have a after credits. Do you guys check before you go into the movies to see if movies have after credit scenes? Because I always do, because that way I thought it was funny when Renfield was going off and I got to the point where I'd gotten enough of the song. It was playing in the credits and I get up, leave, and everybody else is sitting there and they all give you that look like, aren't you going to wait to see if it's an after credit scene? I'm like, no, you fucks. I've already looked it up before I got into the theater to see whether there was an after credit scene or not. I know she didn't survive in the original. I don't like when they change it. I will say that that rape scene is pretty tough to watch in Last House on the Left in the movie theater. No, and I don't. I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. I mean, give my opinion, which is that obviously it doesn't match most people's. But I wasn't a big fan of the original Avatar. I will tell you this: when I bought my 3D television, I made sure that even though it wasn't a Samsung, I think, and they were giving away, I think, Avatar Blu-ray 3D Blu-rays. I got somebody to get me a copy. Well, I mean, a legit copy of from somebody locally that didn't like the movie, and I bought it. It looks really good in 3D. It's one of those movies that's a really good, show off the visual what my TV can look like. But I was actually kind of bored with the movie. Once you get past the visuals, I didn't think the movie was that good. I didn't go see the new one, and I'm not seeing it until it comes out where I can stream it for free. I sometimes forget and do it at the ends, and for info, it didn't say on aftercredits.com. I don't always trust aftercredits.com. Sometimes I've got a couple sites bookmarked that I check using one or two different ones to make sure. And when it said it didn't have one. So we've talked so much, we're actually at the end of Cocaine Bear. I kind of like how they wrapped this movie up, where Han Solo is still a good guy, even though, he was hooked in with the bad guys. They didn't kill the little dog. The dog survived. Look at that thing. That's cute. When I was a kid leaving the theater after seeing Freddy's New Nightmare, I saw a guy I played football with and his mother complaining to the manager about the movie Pulp Fiction. I wonder why. Have you seen Pulp Fiction? At the time, it was one of the movies that had the most vulgar language. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any nudity in it, is it? But drug usage, talk about sex. I know there is a lot of talk about it, and then it's got that rape scene in it. sodomy scene, whatever you want to call it. It's terrible. I better watch what I talk about on here. Sometimes YouTube flags the shit. Why I trust, there was one or two that I looked at that said it had multiple after credit scenes, and they didn't. I mean, um, it's mostly right. I'd say 99% of the time, but there has been one or two times. So I usually check the two or three that I got bookmarked, and if they all say it isn't, then I don't watch it. But I do that before I get into the theater, so I can just get up and leave and know. I can't remember what it was. One, I think at the time it was one of the Marvel movies where it said there was one, and I got up and left, and then it was two, and I missed it. But that's been so long ago. They probably changed. It's probably you can trust it now. But I also know that sometimes they don't have them on there immediately. I'm on my other. I don't have my actual phone that's got that on there. I can tell you which ones I look at later. I'll send you a message. So is everybody going to go see Evil Dead? Evil Dead Rise. Like I said, I'm definitely going to go see that. I love the last Evil Dead movie so much. I actually might like it more than the original movie, the original Evil Dead. It's going off here, and they're watching the bear. Not only that, but also the cubs are looking at them. So they should make a sequel, and it's Cocaine Bears. In loving memory of Ray Liotta. I don't think anybody answered my question, did they? What's a Gator? If you're still in here, what's your favorite Ray Liotta movie that isn't Goodfellas? I seen it. I was just making a joke about how extreme it was. Yeah. Yeah, you can literally complain about almost the whole movie. Evil Dead Rise looks sick. Maybe it's not going to be too much for you, but I did hear that it's got some of like a lot of practical effects in it, and it's got a ton of blood in it. They said that it's like more than most movies that have been at the theater before. So the Evil Dead, the one from 2013, I was surprised with that scene where she cuts her arm off that was actually in the theatrical version. What? If effing. What is that? What's your favorite scenes of Friday 13 Part 8? I'm like, unlike most people, I don't hate Friday the 13th. I think it gets a lot of hate because people say that it's supposed to be in New York, and it's really not. And even the parts that it filmed in Canada, it wasn't enough of it. He's mostly Jason on a boat, but I don't think the opening is that bad. I do hate the fact that Jason is fucking wet through the whole movie. Why is he so wet? And I don't mind the scenes where everybody talks about him. Let me get this Cocaine Bear's true story off the screen. It's in my ear. But I love everything that happens when they're in New York, as far as on the streets, with him lifting his mask up, with him kicking the boom box. I love the fact that, he comes up to the sign and turns around and he's looking up at the hockey mask. I like the fact that that's the guy that played Jason in one of the Friday the 13th movies. I think Freddy vs. Jason that he picks up and throws in that little diner. So it's got quite a few scenes in it I like, and I don't hate the movie. I like Part 8 way better than Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah, he was really good in Copland. There was a movie that he was in that I haven't watched in a while, and I keep going back saying I'm going to watch it. Unforgettable. Was that the one I'm thinking of that he's in? I really like that, but let me tell you, he's really good in the movie Narc. I liked him in that. What was the other movie I was thinking about the other day that he was in? Let me scan back to it. He's been a side character in a lot of movies. It's almost like he settled into that role, and that's what he became over time. as far as some of those side roles, I liked him in Hannibal. He plays a douchebag really well. Yeah, Unforgettable is one of the movies that I like. I forgot he was in Operation Dumbo Drop. We won't talk about that. I liked him in Unlawful Entry back in the day. Let's try and look at some of the other ones. I forgot he was. I loved him in Identity. I think that movie's very underrated. Identity is good. It's got some pretty good acting in there. Another person that's in Identity, Amanda Peet, I think. She did herself a disservice by the first couple movies. She basically put her tits on display in a bunch of movies, and that's what people. That's what she was known for. I think she's a really good actress, and then she doesn't get enough credit. Same thing with John Cusack. Now he didn't put his tits on display, but I think John Cusack is a very underrated actor, and it's because he got to the point where he was be real picky and choosy with some of the roles that he was in. And I love the first. You talking about movies that I'm embarrassed. I wouldn't say I'm embarrassed, but I know a lot of people don't think it's good. I fucking love Hot Tub Time Machine, man. The first Hot Tub Time Machine is awesome. Maybe it's just because I grew up in the 80s, and so I love it. Fandango gets their system working, I will. Dude, just go see it. I mean, even if you can't get the system working, don't stop that from making you go see the movie. I'd make them refund you the money. They say on a website the first Final Girl was from Black Christmas or Texas Chainsaw. Did she survive in Black Christmas? I guess she did. It's been a while since I watched that. Leota was off for several parts in The Sopranos, including Ralphie. Chase wanted him almost every season for a part, finally got him to do The Saints. And that movie, The Saints of Newark, was hot shit garbage. Watch my review of that on the channel. You do such a good job. I wish that I had the time and effort to be able to do edit videos the way you do. I just don't have the time to do that. I have to just, pick and choose when I'm able to do some, but I want to do more movie reviews, but it's like I said, I don't want to just sit like this in front of a camera and ramble. I like to get my ideas down. That's what I was telling them earlier. That's why I don't do as many of them. It's just I don't have the time to write these scripts for that kind of stuff, especially with my new job. But I hated The Saints of Newark. The Mini Saints of Newark. Is that what it was? I hated that movie. I thought everything that was good about the Goodfellas and The Sopranos was bad in that movie. And Ray Liotta, I didn't like his character at all. So I was talking to somebody else about movies coming out, and I guess it's finally caught up from the pandemic. But you had, that I remember the last movie I saw before the pandemic was I saw The Invisible Man, and then I was scheduled to go see The Hunt, and then The Hunt, I think, got a simultaneous release on demand because it was, that was when we were first going into lockdown. And then you had that until middle of last year, you didn't have as many movies coming out. And then you had all that tug of war between whether movies were going to be out in the theater or whether they were going to be out on demand. Now you're full force back in the theaters. And if you look, man, it's like every week since January, there's been some type of new movie coming out. Can you imagine next year at this time or 6 months from now, when all these movies start coming out on physical media? It's going to be crazy. He said, yeah, Many Saints was not good. I hated that movie because I love The Sopranos so much, and it was like not good. My theater chain is separate from them, so I have like 24 in credit to use and use a free ticket to see it on the app. I would be able to do that, and wouldn't be able to do that. Well, just walk in and pay cash and go see it, dude. Film instructor I had in college is friends with the director of Narc. He was the car salesman and the director of Narc film, Blood, Guts, Bullets, and Octane. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I love Narc. That's a good movie. Well, so just pay to see it, dude. I mean, I work with them, make them pay you your money back, and even if you got to pay a couple bucks more, go see it. Olivia is left sedated but survives. Sally survives, but not the only survivor. It says both movies from 1974. Alice from Friday the 13th is the true final girl because she kills her captor. Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't think final girls though have to kill their captor though. They're just the final girls. Speaking of, have you seen the movie The Final Girls? Um, do they have that on Tubi? We need to fucking watch that. If dude, that movie is good, as Andy Griffith would say, that movie is good. I'm gonna look it up on Tubi, see if The Final Girls is on there. Cody, have you on here? Have you seen Final Girls? The Final Girls. I bet it's not on here. Shit, I don't think it is. We need to find if that's streaming anywhere. Maybe it's just Final Girls. Maybe the word "the" isn't in it. That doesn't look like it. Either way. I like The Hunt. Invisible Man's great. I thought they were building up to do a monster type series of films. I think they were at first. I don't know what happened, but I kind of like The Hunt too. Obviously a lot of people didn't like it because it was politically driven, I guess is a good way to put it. But what's the main actress in that? I forget her name. She's very underrated actress too. And I think another reason because of that is because she was on Nurse Jackie. Is that the name of it? And showed her tits. Women need to establish their career and become like a good actress before they just start showing their tits in movies. Betty Gilpin. If you haven't watched Glow on Netflix, talking about Netflix, watch the series Glow. That shit is good. They took a concept that could have been like really cheesy and watered down, just being like, women wrestling from the 80s, and they actually made a good soap opera type atmosphere around it. And it's got some amazing actors in that. Betty Gilpin is in it. Shit. Who's else is in Glow? Betty Gilpin is in it. Allison Brie, Mark Maron, who I love him. He's very underrated comedian, writer, and comedian. And it's got a lot. The supporting cast is amazing as well. So you need to watch Glow on Netflix. But she dies in part 2. Yeah, she dies at the beginning. Jason kills her. We did a watch along to that last week. I liked Capone. It was okay. I mean, I didn't think it was as good as a lot of people did, but I like Tom Hardy, so I think he did a really good job in it. Oops. Final Girl movie was great. Love Malin. Is that how you pronounce her name? Ackerman. Probably spelling her name wrong. Yeah, I like her too. But I do like the other girl that was in that. What's the main girl's name? Final Girls. I don't know how to say her name either. Taysa Farmiga. She's Vera Farmiga's sister. They're like really far separated by birth, by years. She's in it. It's got Adam. Is it Devine? It's got Thomas Middleditch. He's funny. It's got a lot of really good comedians in it. And funny people. That movie there is the score is amazing. The concept is good. It's got comedy moments in it, but it's got real horror moments in it too. So that's good. Pope Exorcist director's last film was Overlord. Oh, I didn't know that. Overlord was really good. I like that. Found out on the Dollar Tree movie hunt. What theater would you have to go pay $30 to see it? Because if you end up making them give you your money back on the other one. I don't think it's the Final Girl that I'm talking about. It's on Tubi. Because I looked it up on the app and I didn't see it on there. Unless it's one of those weird things where they change the poster art a lot on Tubi, and I don't like that. Let me look it up by her name. Farmiga. No, they only got the only movie that she's in they got on Tubi is Anna. It's several movies on there named Final Girl. Plus the seats are blocked still. Do it. The seats are only blocked for that one showing, dude. You could go to the next one. She was an American Horror Story. Yeah, she's really good actress in that Final Girl. I think they did everything good in that, and I even like the fact that they made it where they could be a quote unquote sequel, even though they didn't do one. I guess that was part of the satire there, parody, whatever you want to call it. I was watching Glow on Netflix with my young cousin until the boobies popped out, and that was the end of that. Well, that's one of the things that makes it good, man. But it's really good. It's well acted. It's well written. Do you have favorite Child's Play franchise? What do you mean? A movie within the franchise? Yeah, when our guy was talking to me about whether I wanted to do the Child's Play franchise ranking, I told him he asked the wrong guy because I'm not big on most of the Child's Play movies. I like the first one like way better than any of the other ones, but the original trilogy is the way to go, and I'm not a huge fan of many of the rest of them. So, oh wait, it's called Final Girl. That's free. Final Girls I'll have to find. Yeah, we'll have to see if that's on a streaming service that we could watch. That's a really good movie. They can't. What the hell am I watching? Something popped up in my ear. I hate when that happens. Oh, a trailer on Internet Movie Database. They can't undo it after it's been exchanged for Fandango credit. Are you gonna watch Backlash? I don't think Cody will beat Brock. Yeah, I'll watch all of them as long as they're on Peacock. I don't know. It depends on what. If they go the John Cena route with the story, John Cena beat Brock Lesnar, didn't he? Or did I think he did? At Backlash after that, he lost to The Rock at WrestleMania. I watched the first couple seasons and really good. And I haven't liked it as it went along. I know, didn't they just announce Kim Kardashian is going to be on the next season? So I definitely won't be watching that. It's only available at 7 on Thursday. Thoughts on the Conjuring films? I know I like the first two. That last one, everybody was telling me how great it was, and I watched it, and I thought it was kind of weak, man. I think those movies have gotten worse as it went along, but the first two are really good. But I'm not into that whole Conjuring world, man. Like Annabelle was okay, and that's went on too long. The Nun was okay. It's been so long since I watched them, but I do remember liking the first two Conjuring movies. It's got some pretty jarring moments in there. But like I said, did you like that last one? I thought the last one was weak. Aren't they doing another one? It says it's on Netflix, but not available in the USA. Well, that's not good. Cody will win with Shenanigans. That's your favorite word, Shenanigans. And it's on the super screen. Let's see, I don't have anything big like that around me, so I don't have to worry about it. Remember, go big or stay home. He'll be sent to Suplex City, bitch. LOL, just the way Brock beat the shit out of Cena. Yeah, he did that to Cena. That was scripted. Then he did it again. He did it to Orton, busting him on the hard way, and that wasn't scripted. So they went off the script. Part 2 was really good. The last few are bad. Annabelle was good. Yeah, I think part 2 is probably my favorite. The first two, like I said, are good. That last one was weak. I didn't like it. I mean, it was pretty much a letdown, I guess is a good way to put it. Man, I'm not paying to rent anything that I got on physical media. We'd have to find it for streaming for free somewhere. I didn't even look. What movies are coming out this week to buy? And then we got to decide what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until about Tuesday. And I'm going to see what the director of Carousel says about whether he could stop by a few minutes. If not, I'll probably hold off and watch that from whenever he can. That's on Tubi. And then other than that, we got to decide. Maybe I'll just go to the backup. Maybe Doug will get his wish and we'll do with a spring baked bikini, or I'll pick that. I'll put the we got to find a third entry to do some voting. So, let's do, if we need a third movie, if we did Doug Spring Break Bikini, whatever that was, my Don't Fuck in the Woods, and then we need a third one. I missed some stuff. Hold on a second. Brock sucked during that match. Which match? Which match you talking about? Is 4K worth it? Thinking about upgrading. I would say yes. But you have to watch. Everything in 4K is not as good. I'll give you an example. Paramount has fucked up so many releases in 2022 and 2023 of catalog titles. The Blu-ray of 3/4 of the movie, the Blu-ray of Saturday Night Fever, looks better than the 4K. When they're outside, like at the beginning, the movie starts and it looks great when Travolta's walking outside. But when he goes down inside of the discos, it looks terrible. The grain is so heavy, and the color is just, the saturation is wrong. A lot of their catalog titles. So what I would do is, if you upgrade to 4K, most new movies, especially if they've got decent special effects in it, and you, I think you'd be safe with it. But what I would advise for catalog titles is wait and read some reviews of some of the popular sites to see if how they did the transfer, because studios are fucking up a lot of the catalog stuff from the 80s and 90s when they're going back and upgrading them into 4K. Remember when he busted up Orton, and that AEW guy now, Jericho, stepped up to Brock backstage. I don't think he would do shit to Brock, though. No, Jericho stepped up to Goldberg in WCW. I don't think he stepped up to Brock. I don't think he ever had a problem with Brock. Bikini Spring Break. And talking about during Cena. I liked the Brock Cena match. I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, Gator, read, if you like old stuff, make sure you try to read a review. Like, I don't know that I watched. There's quite a few people that do YouTube reviews. Movies at Home is usually one of the better ones, but I do find High Def Digest and the Digital Bits do some really good in-depth reviews on their sites, and sometimes they compare the Blu-ray releases with the 4Ks. No, I'm not going to get into recommending hardware, because I personally am not one of those top tier guys. I'm never going to spend, but I did it back in the day and I regret it now, because TVs are almost disposable. When I bought my first TV, where I spent a lot of money on it, and after the first 2 years, I started having issues with it. And then it was going to cost me almost as much to fix it as it was to get a new one. I just decided I'm not going to be a top tier guy. I'm older now. My eyesight isn't as great. Somebody was asking me about 8K. You're never going to be able to see much better than 4K. If things go to 8K, you're not going to need it. As long as you can get as long as the TV has got where you can change the settings on it, because I will tell you, 4K, the colors are a lot darker, like blacks and outside and in the dark is a lot darker. The Paramount Friday the 13th 4K, that's so dark in some of the scenes you can't see what the hell's going on there. So you do need to get a TV that's got you can guarantee you that you can change some of the settings to be your preference of how dark things are. But I don't get into that recommending hardware, just because I'm not into that. Doug and I were talking about that one week. I mean, I was more worried about getting a region free 4K player than I was about getting the top end 4K player at the time. So instead of spending $400 on a 4K player, I spent like $279 and made sure that it was a region free one. So I was more worried about being able to watch my Blu-rays, because there's a lot of movies that still aren't out on Blu-ray in the US, and I want to be able to buy the Blu-rays on online sites or eBay and stuff, or Amazon, like, Germany. Like, you can't get Ty West X in 4K in the US, but I got the German media book of that in 4K. You can't get a movie like Christmas Bloody Christmas. What was it, Bloody Christmas? Yeah. You can't get that in 4K in the US, but I got the German media book of that, and I want to be able to watch that stuff. So yeah, I'm not the guy to ask about high-end televisions. Yeah, it's one of those things. If you don't have a 4K player, your TV may give you a better picture quality than a standard Blu-ray, but you're to get the actual 4K, you're going to need a 4K player. And the 4K players use the higher resolution. You're also going to make sure, for speed wise, that you get you a really good HDMI cable. Pretty much any of the newer HDMI cables now, gold tipped, are the newer ones. It's kind of like a USB's got 2.0, 3.0. You want to be able to get a higher end HDMI cable to make sure that you go direct with that. I'll tell you, if you got this Roku, and I've got the device on my television that I use to manage my devices on my phone, I can do anything as long as it isn't an HDMI connection on my TV. If it's an app on my television, like the Roku, I can use and listen to it on my earbuds. But if it's a connected device that uses like HD audio, you can't use the Roku app to hear the audio on that. So that's kind of sucky. But yeah, but there is a visual difference in new movies that come out. Like 4K is way better than Blu-ray on most of the new movies that come out. I mean, there's some really good. I'll tell you this also, movies from like the 90s that uses a lot of CGI in them. Some of them look really bad in 4K because you can really tell the separation of the different layers of what was actually, superimposed over top of what was there. I've bought some 4K movies of older stuff and wished I hadn't, and were like, just say the Blu-ray would have been just as good because of how bad the CGI looks. None of the top tier movies. I'm not talking about a Jurassic Park or any of those. I'm talking to like some lower level movies. The CGI looks really bad when it upscales to 4K. Doug says he wishes he adjusted screen size, but says feature not available. I have the 4K plugged into the sound system. Then sound system. Yeah, I think I've got my 4K player running to my sound bar, and then that running to the TV. Then everything else I just go HDMI because I think that's the way I got it set up. Yeah, my 4K player is what I watch most of my stuff in. I will tell you this also. You will see an upgrade. Physical media 4K and streaming 4K is a lot different sometimes. Even though it still looks really good, and you can still get HDR over streaming, most of that 4K is still compressed in order to still come over a standard internet connection, even if you got a fast connection. The way to go if you really like a movie is to buy the physical disc, because it's uncompressed, and if it's gonna pop a little bit more than the streaming 4K. Now, if I'm really in a hurry, I'll go run in and pop in a 4K and just watch if I can't pop it in, I mean, I'll just watch the stream. But there is a difference. You also see me rant. I got a couple of videos where I rant. One of the things I hate is that not all the studios give you a 4K disc and then a 4K digital code. Some of the movies have not been upgraded digitally into 4K, and when you go to redeem the code, Fox movies, a lot of those are that way. You end up getting the standard HD, which would be like Blu-ray, 1080p, and that pisses me off. If I bought the 4K disc, you should have a 4K digital available. I have the Sony. Yeah, you were telling me about that Sony TV you got Appreciate it, Cody. I'm going to wrap it up here in a few minutes myself. You too, Cody. What is AK picture quality? I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is, Doug? I was looking it up. I don't know what that means. I looked it up and nobody had anything in there. Nope. Either way. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I really appreciate you guys. We watched about as much of that damn Cocaine Bear as we normally do. So watch the community tab of my channel somewhere from Tuesday to Wednesday. If I've confirmed with the director that he's going to come on board, we'll watch Carousel. If not, I'll put up a poll, and we'll definitely put my choice and Doug's choice on there, and I'll think of a third one since we didn't talk about it. And hey, one person who wasn't on here was Scott. I know he said he was still feeling bad. I hope he's okay. So if anybody talks to Scott during the week, tell him we miss him. And also I know Maddie's still going through some stuff, so I didn't look for her to be on here. Either way, I appreciate everybody that watches. If you watch us after the fact, hit a thumbs up on your way in the door, out of the door. It always helps the videos on my channel. Comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And then if you are a subscriber, make sure you always hit the notification bell on my videos. I want you guys to support me on just the normal movie hunts and stuff I do. I want to start doing more reviews and all that other kind of stuff. So support me any way you can. Spread the word. Good night, everybody. Good night. Sorry I wasn't there for longer. Hey, man, any support you can give me, you always know is much appreciated. You always come by. So you're one of my main guys. Never any worries about that. I appreciate Gator coming by tonight and spicing up the chat with a lot of good questions, as he always does. And like I said, we'll definitely do it again next Sunday night. Just watch the community tab and you'll find out what we're going to watch. I don't know. I haven't talked to her. She's been doing she's had a lot of personal stuff going on, and I don't want to pressure her. I don't want to get involved. I've just made comments and supported her on there, but I'm not going to bug her about coming on here. If she wants to come on the channel, she can. But I like that we got a good crowd now of the normal people coming in. You guys that are normally on here, spread the word and share the video and get some more people out there so we can come in and talk movies. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the banner off. If I can get it off. And I'm getting ready to do the exit video. So if anybody doesn't have anything else, this has been JEFFMAN316. As always, I'm your pop culture reporter, and I'm just going to end the video like I always do. You guys be safe out there.
Mr. Mayor, Chief, ladies and gentlemen.
I said 8 as in the number 8. Okay. If you're still on here, I said 8 as in the number 8. 8K. Sorry. Now I'm gone. Bye.